Mary Jane. Mary Jane's from Millions March Against Mandatory Vaccines. Have I got that right? Michael Sims' right-hand lady, I take it. There's a microphone for you. You're used to this. So, yeah, take it away, Mary Jane.
Thanks very much. My name's Mary Jane, and let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, it was 2 weeks to flatten the curve. And Michael Sims sent out a little thing saying in Canberra we're going to do a rally. And it was me, Mike and 5 other people on the steps down at Old Parliament House. So when the gent who just spoke said this is not many people, it's like we dreamed of this many people. So in 2 years, that was 2 years ago, Michael ran the big Millions March rallies in Sydney. And he said, I don't ever do anything in Canberra, as no one ever comes to anything in Canberra. And I said, well, I'm here, I will do something. And so from 2 years ago, we built the numbers from 7 people to 70 people to 170 people to one of the biggest ones we had, not the big one with the convoy, but the biggest one just from people in Canberra was 1,200 people. And that was, thank you very much, Megan, because I went to Sydney for that one, and we had 150,000 people in Sydney. And then the convoy arrived. So thank you very much for coming, and thank you very much for staying. And what am I doing now? So Millions March does Millions March. Millions March has been around for many years before COVID, raising awareness about vaccine injury. But I'm standing on the stage today as Mary Jane with, here we go, this is Michael Sims, in case no one knows who he is. This is not a political message. This is an idea of how we can get even more people. Michael and I have been invited to run as ACT Senate candidates for the Informed Medical Options Party, one of the minors. The message is put the majors last. And the Informed Medical Options Party is about truth, transparency and accountability. And every other issue that comes from whichever you have in your life stems from the fact that up there it is entirely corrupted. Throughout our society it is entirely corrupted, and we need it gone, cleaned out, and amazing men and women like you and more, we need to create it from scratch. Well, not from scratch, we can take what the good bits and create and get rid of the old bits. And I'm delighted to hear about the alternate economies, because that's another huge component. My own personal journey started when I was down at the steps with 7 people. I was doing a letter writing campaign to my local federal members about my mum, who was in an aged care facility, and they had told me, oh, if I don't get the flu vaccine, I won't be allowed in. It was a flu vaccine mandate to enter aged care facilities. So I was doing a letter writing campaign, and it was from that moment onward I was slapped awake. I mean, I knew about the health stuff, I knew about the alkaline and all the sort of the good stuff. My kids have never been well, my son was injected in the first 3 months, and an adverse reaction, which luckily was not a bad adverse reaction, made me read a lot and find out more. And that's when I stopped doing anything with my kids, and I've got 3 very healthy kids. But my mum was in there. And so I did the letter writing campaign, and when I followed up with phone calls, I was laughed at. What do you mean, the will of the people? What do you mean, you want to create, influence Labor Party policy? That's who we've got here in Canberra. And they laughed at me. I said, you don't understand how policy's made. It's not you, the party makes the policy. And then I went, whoa, okay, right. So why am I doing this? I am a sovereign woman, a divine sovereign woman. Right now, my family members have taken me to a court, the lowest court, the tribunal, to remove myself from my mum's guardianship so they can jab her, and they have. Oh, thank you. They have jabbed her. I thought you were coming to sweep me off the stage. I'll be finished in a minute. And they have jabbed her. And that, I've been doing it from a legislative point of view and a lawful point of view. So I will use whatever tool I have in the toolbox. These last 2 years, I've been cut off. There you go. I have been learning, and I continue to learn about the true law. And we need to operate, and as we've heard many speakers say, we must be able, in peace and love, to hold our position and not change it from fear. And that's why I'm standing with Michael Sims in the ACT Senate. Informed Medical Option Party is for truth, transparency and accountability. And if you are interested in knowing more, I'm over there in a gazebo. I also have these flyers, which is the Children's Health Defence flyers, specifically designed to help wake up parents of anybody who's thinking of jabbing their kids, and I've got a few left over. We've raised money to print these off and distribute them around Canberra. So come over to the tent over there, and if you've got anything you'd like to tell me about your concerns or interests in regard to the forthcoming general election and or anything, please feel free, pop over. Mary Jane Liddycote, ACT Senate Candidate for Informed Medical Options Party. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you to the organisers. I used to be doing this with gaffer tape, and I want to say I am delighted that I don't have to do that anymore. Thank you.
That would be like school.
Well, there you go.